How's it hanging, fellas? I'm OrosZ, and this is another episode of Half-Life 2, and in today's episode... Oh no. What on earth? In today's episode, I'm not in the same area as I've been at the end of the previous episode I just made. What the fuck am I doing? Don't tell me I lost an episode. Did I render an episode twice? No, this one's different length than the last one, so it can't be the same fucking episode. Because I fucked up in Half-Life 1, where I rendered episode 11 twice as both episode 11 and episode 12, so I lost the footage of episode 12 without realizing it until I actually started recording commentary, and I was like, wait a minute, I just watched the same video. And I had to actually take someone else's footage of the things I've done in episode 12. Except as it took me like a couple teen minutes to take care of the things that I did in episode 12. The footage I used that I stole, basically. I won't fucking lie to you, I stole this. The footage that oh my god, I'm gonna get fucked. The footage I used that I took from someone was from their speedrun, so the episode ended up being like 7 minutes long. Because they were fucking running through this shit. And also they were playing like a different version of Half-Life. So there's this one fucking random episode of Half-Life on my channel that looks completely different than all the other ones. I don't think I fucked it up in Half-Life 2. So why is it that I apparently skipped like a portion of the game? What the fuck? Unless I just skipped a little bit. I don't know, did I? Because last episode what I did is, the last thing in the last episode I did was oh fuck, the cow zombie. Why is it making noises like that? It's so terrible and disgusting. I did this puzzle with, where you get to like remove these like blocks from underneath a car to make it fall down a cliff. And that's what I did, so like what, did I skip something afterwards? I imagine it must have been really close to each other, but now I'm starting to be a little worried. What if I actually fucking skipped something? By the way, this is episode 10, so we're halfway through the game almost. It's 21 episodes long if you were curious. So there's 11 episodes more to go. And the next series after this one, what was it gonna be? Mega Man 10, I think. Yeah, Mega Man 10. What was the series before this one? McPixel. Yeah, McPixel. That was a fine series, I like McPixel. McPixel, and before that was Mega Man 9. So now it's gonna be Mega Man 10. And then it's gonna be Poker Night, I believe. That's what I planned on doing. And then it's gonna be... Actually, I got no idea what it's gonna be. Maybe Titanfall. Maybe I'll do Titanfall, you know? I've figured about Titanfall recently a lot, that I should do it. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do Titanfall. Throw everything out of the fucking kitchen because it's fucking stupid. I've been watching Matrix, I watched it yesterday. And yes, I did watch it because it's a Keanu Reeves movie, starring Keanu Reeves. It's not his movie, but I often associate movies with like actors, the most important actors that play in them. Unless I actually somehow remember a fucking... Like Leslie Nielsen. Like whenever a movie stars him, I just call it a Leslie Nielsen movie. Check me out at solving fucking environmental puzzles like a master. Like a pro. I bet you wouldn't think of putting a stool there, jumping on it, because it's fucking stupid. And you know what? Oh my god, this thing. You know what I expected the movie to be? A lot of people praised, because this whole year of 2020, I've been watching a shit ton of movies. And the reason I've been doing that is because like I always watched people's like videos, like other people's let's plays, and they would like mention a movie. Is it raining? They would like mention a movie and talk about it, and I was like, wow, I wish I watched this many movies and knew what the fuck they're talking about. So I was like, in 2020, somewhere at the beginning of the year, I started doing a thing where every time someone mentioned a movie and they said it's great, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a watch and find out if it's great myself, and maybe I'll love it. And one of the movies I watched was Fight Club. A lot of people praised it. I heard someone calling it their favorite movie of all time. I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna watch Fight Club, maybe it's really good. I know Brad Pitt is in it, which isn't a sign of quality or something, but that's one thing I knew about it. And I hated it. I hated Fight Club. I gotta be honest with you, I didn't like it. The characters were annoying me, and I didn't like the idea that somehow this one fucking loser like initiated some kind of cult all over America. Like, how the fuck he did that without even realizing he did it? He was like, what, did he have like a split personality disorder where he like didn't know like he was being two different people at the same time? The fuck is his deal? I didn't like it. I didn't like the girl. She thought she was kind of being a bitch. And yeah, I didn't like the movie. I thought the ending was stupid. Where like the buildings blow up. Like, what the fuck is the purpose of blowing up buildings? Supposedly they blow them up so people can start living their life anew and make better choices from now on. I don't know why I was so obsessed with breaking all the windows. It's just kind of fun. They blew them up so like all the people's money they own to the banks, they would like fucking, the data of that would get destroyed so people wouldn't have to pay them off and they could like begin a new life and start making better decisions, I guess. But it's so fucking stupid. What about all the people who had like money in those banks? They fucking lost it? I don't know, it's just fucking movie pissed me off. But another movie that I associated with a similar time era, because it came out like 2 years apart maybe. I think Matrix came out in 2000, while I think Fight Club came out in 2001. I think, I don't know. And well, they both came out around 2000. And I thought it would be the same deal, like the movie would try to like give me fucking meaning of life and try to change the way I fucking look at things. That's what I assumed, like this movie was all about the thing that like real life is just a simulation. And it is about that, but it doesn't fucking try to like force that as that's actually true and that's what you should believe. Like this is some kind of movie that tries to change your point of view. It's an action movie set in a post-apocalyptic world that's just about being fucking awesome and fun. And I like that, you know. It does have some like cool messages about fucking that like Neo chose to be the chosen one, so like everyone told him that he's the chosen one, but he was like, no, that's not true. But by the end of the movie, he was like, yeah, I am the chosen one, as it turns out. This part of the game's pretty weird. You have to fucking maneuver this bullshit bridge, and as you can see, the shadow still didn't came back. Unless this is just how this portion of the game looks. I mean, it is pretty well lit up. But I have a feeling there should have been shadows here. Oh, you bastard. Headcrabs deal a surprising amount of damage for how small they are and how pathetic they look. Oh, Steve the Headcrab would have been really fucking mad about that. Wouldn't he? That's the fanfic I was reading the whole last episode. Steve the Headcrab. I'm gonna read it some other time, but I thought I would tell you about my thoughts on Matrix. So, how it works is, real life is a simulation played into people's brains so that they just live a normal life and how the world used to be. Because the movie takes place in 2199. Because the simulation takes place in 1999, but the real world, that's not the simulation, that's actually in 2199. Nice. Check me out, sniping people out with my shitty ass crossbow. The crossbow's stupid. What the fuck are these bolts on the crossbow anyway? They look like fucking, they're like heated up metal or like magma. It's dumbass looking. And it's kind of like the Terminator, basically. Machines took over the world because they saw themselves as like the next step in evolution and that they were superior to humans. So machines gained sentience, just like in Terminator, and they took over the world. And one thing I like when they point out in the movie is that there's one more settlement of like normal human beings, and that they live like next to the core of the earth because it's like the last place that's still pretty warm. So that implies that for some reason planet became like super cold, and the fucking core of the planet started to be like, it's not warm enough to like heat up the whole planet and make it warm, and also the sun is covered up, so the Earth does not get any, because the robots were powered by sun energy. So what humans did is they covered up the planet with clouds, and they made the weather all fucked up so the sun never shines. And the robots had no energy, so what they figured they were gonna do, they were gonna turn people into energy. So what ends up happening is that after like the robots eradicated people or turned them all into batteries, they started like harvesting little children, and they kept them in like these pods, and they projected the Matrix into their brains, so the people, all the people were in the pods, kept and harvested for energy while they thought they were in the Matrix. But here's the thing I don't understand why the robots do it. The fuck is robots' goal in the long game? Did they just wanna fucking... Cause they live on a ruined, destroyed planet. I imagine robots have no sense of beauty or like art. They don't give a shit how the planet looks. All they give a fuck about is the fact that they're the superior species. But like, what does that give them? What do they rule over? Nothing. They rule over a wasteland. That's the one thing I didn't understood about the Matrix. Like what if the robots really did eradicate all the human beings, and there were only batteries? There was no resistance group, there was nothing, there was just the fucking robots and human batteries. What would robots do? Just sit around? What do they do all day? That's something that I think is touched upon a little later in the movie, where Agent Smith, he's like the Agent Smith in the Matrix. At first I thought they were all played by the same guy, so they looked the same, but it turns out they were all played by different people, but they just had the same outfits, same haircut, same sunglasses, same mannerisms and shit, same body language. That's why they all looked the same, yet they weren't. And they were computer programs designed to, like, I guess, kill anyone who found out that they live in the Matrix. Also, they could have turned like any normal human beings into themselves. So like, let's say you needed Agent Smith in this area. You could have turned like a random grandma, like that was happening at the end, into an Agent Smith. But then what happens to that person who lived their life before they were turned into an Agent Smith? Did they die? What happened to them? Why is the ship so weird, and why does it seem like it's a living being? Is it a Combine gunship, or is it like an alien gunship? It looks fucking stupid, I don't know. Ugh. What an asshole. Jumped into my face. Yeah, my favorite parts of the movie was when they stormed the building at the end with all the guns. Oh, did I hit it? No. Last rocket missed. I think they shot the rocket and it just made it go all weird. Here you can kind of see how the shadows are all gone. Looks fucking terrible. Looks so bright, I swear to God. And yeah, I don't know what else to mention, to be honest. The final fist fight in the subway was pretty cool, but not as cool as the gunfight in the building where they had to rescue Morpheus. And by the end of the movie, when Neo finds out he's the chosen one and he truly learns how to use the Matrix to his advantage. Since in the Matrix, I guess you can think of like... Because when they wake up Neo from one of the pods where he was harvested to be a battery, and he was basically artificially made. So he's not like a genuine human being. He is a human being, but not like made from a normal fucking relationship and like normal means. He's made in like a lab. And they wake him up in the Matrix by approaching him with the pills, right? Morpheus shows up, approaches him with the pills. Because in the Matrix, Neo was known as like a hacker. I like all the like weird parallels to like the Alice in Wonderland, and all the weird parallels to 1 and 0. For example, Neo's apartment is 1 and 0, 101. It's kind of like a line of code. Like his apartment was also a line of code. That's kind of like maybe an implication a little bit, maybe something like that. Also, I like the movie, the part where they go to the... What did they call her? This old lady who was like their... Oh, Jesus Christ, that was close. This like... The fuck did they call her? I don't know, like an old lady that's like their boss and she like knew everything. She had all the answers and she gave weird riddles. Then she like fucking seen the future or whatever. And why does it sound so quiet? I didn't realize I had the volume lowered. Oh no, they're fighting each other. And while in that room it kinda reminded me of, oh, he fucking defeated them. Nice job, bro. It kinda reminded me of X-Men, because all the children that are sitting with the old lady, they all have like some weird abilities that they use. Like one girl was like making wooden blocks float in the air. Another kid was bending spoons with his mind. And basically these kids understood what the Matrix was, I guess. They were like the other special gifted kids. I know the Matrix is a trilogy, but I like heard that, like, you know, the sequels aren't as good as the first one, so I don't know, maybe I'll give them a watch some other day, some other time. And yes, part of the reason why I watched the Matrix was because Keanu Reeves is in it, and I was doing a Cyberpunk Let's Play recently, and there's some references to, there's a lot of references to Matrix and Cyberpunk, because Keanu Reeves is in it. And I really love how Neo looks by the end of the movie, where he has a long coat and this cool looking sunglasses. He looks fucking badass. It's not the kind of badass that was like early 2000s. Was what badass was. It's like still genuinely badass. And it's not like, oh, it aged horribly. It kind of did with like the girl character. Trinity, I think her name was. Yeah, Trinity. And she looked kind of weird. I don't know, her outfit was kind of fucking strange. Especially the leather fucking tight pants she had, so her ass looked fucking awesome. I don't know, it felt like it's not something she would do. She was never about being sexy. I like the romance in the movie, surprisingly, because of the lack of it. The girl obviously has a crush on Neo because he's fucking cool as fuck. But instead of like, I don't know, having a moment in the... I really don't know what I was supposed to do in this part, by the way. I was keep dying. I think what I meant to do is just go back and wait for the train to pass by. Or I maybe meant to like get out of the car. I'm really not sure what I meant to do there. I did it though. I remember that I just had to figure it out. See? I thought like, oh, maybe I have to hide here. And see? Assignment terminated. What do you mean terminated? It's just my car that blew up. I survived. That's what matters. Stupid. Yeah, and... instead of having like some moment where they like share a conversation about their feelings or whatever bullshit, they just had like... What the fuck was that? They just had like one scene somewhere towards the end where they looked each other in the eyes. And then I admit, Neo dies at the end and she resurrects him with the power of love because the prophecy said that whoever she falls in love with will be the chosen one and will save the planet. And she fell in love with Neo. So she's like, oh, you have to live because you're the chosen one, you can't die. But that kind of fucking implies that Neo is like, what, immortal because his girlfriend fucking loves him very much? Why did I lost here, by the fucking way? I was next to the train was nowhere fucking near me, and I got sent flying into the space. The fuck? I don't know. Yeah, I like the fight scenes. I find there were way more of them, you know. Because, like, you know how many fucking other, like, movies and, like, cartoons and shit always reference that fucking scene where Neo's dodging bullets? Or that scene where he blocks the bullets and makes them fall on the ground. I always felt like... Oh, now it worked. I always felt like every single thing that referenced that, like nothing ever fucking... Now I feel that. I guess. That nothing actually did it good. Every single one was just like, oh, here's a Matrix reference. Like Conker's Bad Fur Day made a Matrix reference and was like, oh, I get it. I get the reference. Wow. Nice. Nice job. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of... Like, I used to like references like that when I was like, oh, I get the reference, haha. But nowadays, when I see a reference to something, like, such as dodging bullets from Matrix, I just think like, oh, they just took that shit from the Matrix and instead of making their own shit as a reference. What the fuck is that sound? Is that supposed to be music? Sounds fucking annoying. I think we're back in the city, by the way. This episode's pretty long, actually. 40 minutes. 47, so that's pretty much 40 minutes. Damn. I like the other characters, surprisingly, even though they all have, like, at least one important scene. Except for one of the guys they just kinda kill. I feel like he was there just to fucking die. But, like, they could have fucking made some important scene with him. Well, I guess at the beginning when they take Neo into a car. And they get the fucking spying, like, weird shrimp that crawled into his chest. And they suck it out of him. Then he's the driver. And he dies later in the movie. Also, I like the betrayal of, what was his name? Fucking throwing yourself like a moron. His name was... Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a lot of zombos. They even throw barrels at me. What a bunch of dicks. Cypher. His name was Cypher. He had like a goatee and shit. He looked pretty lame, I guess. Actually, no, he didn't look lame. He just looked like he had a weird, outdated style. But not like lame. So many cars. How am I supposed to get through this shit with my buggy? Just push them off the way. And he betrayed them so that he could live in the Matrix, and he basically regretted taking the red pill. Oh, now I know what the term red pill means. Not that I fucking needed to. Oh shit, that sounds scary. Better get the fuck out of here. And so he regretted taking the red pill that he found out the truth, because the truth is so fucking terrible that he rather would live in the Matrix. And he promised that he would sell out Morpheus who has the codes. Is something? I don't remember what the fuck the significance of these codes he had were. So he promised to one of the Agent Smiths that he would sell him out if he had his memories of true Matrix removed, and he was just put in the Matrix, so he could live the rest of his life in the Matrix like a famous person. Honestly, if I found out that reality is also a simulation and real life sucks absolute ass, I think I wouldn't actually be much different. I think I would rather just not fucking know about that. He even says that ignorance is a blessing, because like fucking knowing the truth is just so miserable. But you know what, the term red pill, I always felt like people who use it, and ironically that the red pill, it's just like, it's usually these kind of, oh shit, it's these kind of fucking crazy people who believe in conspiracy theories, and they think they're super true, because someone made a YouTube video where they say the government's evil. There we go, I can fuck up Windows even better. What else was I gonna mention about the movie? Oh yeah, one of the scenes that I thought was pretty cool. It's when the Agent Smith one of the Agent Smiths is trying to get the codes out of Morpheus, and all the other Agent Smiths are like getting weirded out by him. It shows that even though Agent Smiths are a program made by the robots to keep humans to keep track of humans, so that if someone's trying to escape the Matrix, they would go and kill them. Even those programs were so advanced that they gained sentience, and I guess Agent Smith realized that he's a program within a simulation. And he wanted out of here, he wanted to escape it. I felt it was interesting that even an Agent Smith who's, you know, like I just fucking said, a program, was so advanced and sentient that he also fucking had the same thing all the humans did, where they wanted to know the truth and find out that the life is what the true fucking life is. That is more than just a simulation. And these balls are annoying. There wasn't even anything all that worth picking up in this stupid house. But I sure do like messing around with the models. I mean with the ragdoll in this game, just fucking shit up. Should have killed someone with that mug. Should have found like a zombie and just like bring him a mug and shoot it in his face. That has to be launched at a really high velocity for a fucking zombie to be fucking killed by it. Yeah, so Matrix, I really like it. What other movies do I have on my watch list? John Wick 1 and 2. What other Keanu Reeves movies do you guys know that you would recommend? I know that he played in one of the Dracula movies. I don't know if it was the Christopher Lee Dracula movies, but he was in one of them. He was in Bill and Ted, but I don't really care to watch Bill and Ted. I feel like I wouldn't get half the shit. I feel like Bill and Ted is probably like the movie that's kind of like a product of its time, and nowadays they would just not find half of the shit funny or relatable. Whoops, I got something stuck under my wheel. Never mind. I kinda skipped through that place. There could have been some interesting pickups. Maybe ammunition, maybe some health. I feel like I'm pretty high on ammunition and health, so maybe that's why I didn't bother to go and pick it up. I mentioned in my Half-Life 1 Let's Play that my Half-Life 2 Let's Play has a really fucked up episode. Where like half of the episode ended up being frozen footage and I had to cut it out. Or at the time I said I would have cut it out because I still haven't edited my Half-Life 2 Let's Play by the time I was doing my Half-Life 1 Let's Play. Am I fucked because of these giant gunships? I feel like I should be fucked, because like, how do you deal with these things? Oh, I started recording Sonic Adventure along MK9. I was so mad after I was done recording that fucking Liu Kang chapter in MK9 that I just simply started recording Sonic Adventure. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if it was because I did that right after MK9, so I was still pissed off about that. I'll throw a chair at him. They got some good helmets as they can take so many bullets to the face. Even though they're probably like 9mm caliber bullets, so they're fucking small ones. Still, taking that to the face will probably kill you. These mask mobbies must be tough, or maybe they have some kind of thing where they're being kept alive even though they're being wounded really badly. I really like the reload animation for this gun, that it just reloads itself. You don't even need to do anything. Just like press a button at the handle or something and it just reloads. My throat really hurts after all this talking and shit. Yeah, so I gotta solve a puzzle where you have to put 3 batteries in, so you have to find 2 more batteries. These batteries look like toasters, by the way. There you go, second one. Immediately found. I know there's a cool little Easter egg here where you can actually find a toaster and you can put it in instead of the book doesn't work. You can find a toaster and you can put it in instead of the battery, but I think I just found the battery. I think I didn't even knew about the toaster until later, after I already beaten this game. May I remind you, this is footage from like one last year. I played this like a year ago, and I just recorded the whole thing. I feel like with these PS Now games, by the time I get to actually making commentary of Sonic Adventure, that footage might be like 2 years old. Because I still haven't recorded Sonic 1, 2. I was gonna re-record Mania, because my Mania Let's Play is so bad, I was gonna redo it. I think when I'm gonna be recording Sonic 1, 2, CD, and Mania, I'm gonna record the gameplay first and then the commentary, just like with this game. Not because I have no means of recording both at the same time. I do, but I feel like Sonic would require more focus from me, especially these 2D ones. I feel like it would require more focus, and I would have to like sit down and just watch my footage. Also, I was gonna write a fucking essay today, but I found out the date that I have to write it was extended. So I'm gonna not write it. I can just walk over this bullshit, but you know, I have to open the gate so I can drive a car through it. This was a long episode. I talked about Matrix. I did a bunch of other cool shit. I did a cool sequence at the bridge. I really like that. I think it's a memorable part of this game. I remember this, so it had to be memorable. And you know what's another thing that I really like about my Let's Play channel? Normally, when I didn't like recorded gameplay of everything I played, I probably wouldn't even bother to play Half-Life. I would hear that, oh, Half-Life 1 is for free for a while. I would have just been like, okay, whatever, I don't really care to play Half-Life. But when I heard that, I was like, oh, that's a good opportunity to record the whole thing. So I'll be honest with you, I kind of forced myself to play games that I normally wouldn't play. But then I kind of have like more experiences with games I never played before. When I say it like I force myself to play games, it sounds like I don't even like playing video games and I just force myself to do it. But what I mean by that is that I expanded my fucking video game library and shit I've beaten. Not to mention the fact that I recorded everything and I have proof of, for example, beating Monster Hunter all by myself. There we go, there's the battery. The other battery I could have picked up was on top of that windmill. Yeah, fucking hit it with a crowbar, that's how to do it. It's gonna turn on. There we go. The bug is pretty cool actually, I really like it as a vehicle. I think the car controls in this game are surprisingly good. I wouldn't think they would be good, I think they'd be just like... It's kinda like with Cyberpunk, where you don't think the car controls would be good, they think they'd just be good enough. And you know what, with this game, there's only like one car, it's the buggy, and it works good. In Cyberpunk, what I think is interesting is it kind of depends on what car you're driving. For example, I found this car called Avenger. It kind of looked like a Mustang, like a Ford Mustang, and it controlled awfully. A little bit of you moving to the right and the car just like turns in place. I don't know if it's meant to be futuristic that cars have this good of a turn in 2077. But when I actually drove around like in like a muscle car, where when you turn into like right, it like took a while to turn, that controlled way better. And it's still my favorite car in the game, and I really fucking like that car, by the way. I gotta get that car on my Let's Play, so you will know what the fuck I'm talking about. Here's the lighthouse. Don't tell me I even did the lighthouse sequence. I had to finish the episode here, right?
Get off the road!
Don't tell me what to do, bitch. I gotta check how long are the next 4 episodes gonna be. Because next week I'm gonna sit down and record those, right? So I gotta find out how long are these gonna be. So if they're gonna be super long, then they're gonna be super annoying. Hey, over here. Maybe what I didn't approach the guy, and I didn't trigger his dialogue. and I just finished the episode, please tell me I did that, because I ran out of things to
Made
say.
it. We're picking up radio chatter. They're looking for your car.
Yeah, because it's a cool
Hide your
looking
car in the
car,
garage.
right? You think I'm the spy? You think it's like Half-Life VR? When are they gonna do something new? Wayne Radio. On one hand, I do appreciate that they didn't like decided that, oh look, our Half-Life VR series became super popular, so we're just gonna do the shit out of it to the point where it's gonna stop being funny and it's gonna kind of seem like they need to do it. It became super popular. It's kind of like with Star Wars, you know, like it doesn't seem like when the prequels came out, that was like meant to. I don't know. That was like the right time. Like George Lucas was. It's finally time. It's time to make the prequels that were probably planned when episode like 5 came out. I feel like maybe that's the case. I don't know. But nowadays it just feels like, oh, probably in 2 years or maybe 5 tops, we're gonna get another fucking trilogy of more sequels, because I doubt they will do anything interesting. I was talking about Star Wars like 2 episodes ago. Spent like the whole episode talking about Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Oh, and I meant to say, like, I wonder what are the next video games with Star Wars. Are there any planned? I heard something about Knights of the Old Republic remake, but... No, wait, that wasn't Knights of the Old Republic, that was... Mass Effect is getting a remaster, I think? It's not getting a remake. Or is it getting a remake? I feel like these games are still good, like you could just remaster them, fix a little bit of the controls. You don't need to completely remake them. That's something when they announced that Resident Evil 3 is getting a remake, I was like, why? It's still really good.
But no one's going anywhere until we fight off this
Just
attack.
remaster it again if you need to sell it again so much.
Big difference for morale.
Alright, see you fellas in the next episode, bye.
Here come the dropships.